So many people, by the way, use the other exoskeleton that gives him the charge ability. I don't know why I'm blanking on that upgrade, but there are a million upgrades in this game. I'm so used to seeing the Hive Tyrant just charging around and knocking through people. It's very refreshing to see someone go right away for his most tanky ability there, just to see something different. Again, we have this ebb and flow effect happening where largely both armies are retreating in big blobs at once. So this becomes more of a contested war zone up here. As each people come back and forth, they gain control over it. Looking more towards the south, we can see that it looks like the Hormogrants by themselves. Oh, just barely getting out of the way in time for that immolate ability from the Chaos Lord here. Looks like they were trying to threaten that that power point down there, but that wasn't going to happen. Oh, we do have some Plague Marines out in the field right now. So the first tier 2 unit out there by VindicareX. Plague Marines, not a bad idea. They do function well as anti-vehicles, but also just throw them in the mix, and as they die, they pop and they do AoE and they heal. Really good against lots of little troops there. Again, continuing to pressure the generator, not a bad idea at all, and he's doing a pretty darn good job at it. VindicareX, nice little setup position here. Got to look out for the flanks, though. We can see the Warrior Brute and the Hormogants now coming in. We do have a Doom Blast going off, just kind of start things off on the right foot right now. And now it looks like the Chaos Space Marines upgraded with the Mark of Khorne, so really good in melee combat, are going to be kind of backing off here. And boom, we have a blood sacrifice in the middle of all of that, and all of these bloodletters come pouring out. That is another commander ability that the Chaos Lord has there. They're definitely ferocious in melee, but they're only temporary units here. Getting a little bit of bonus here from the Worship, but unfortunately they are crippling poisoned. Another interesting thing to note is that the Tyrant Guard was summoned here by Schranz as well. That was kind of interesting, because Schranz here, he seemed to be preparing himself for vehicles, and when he only saw the Plague Marines out there, it looks like he just went ahead and grabbed his own little mini vehicle. Let the galaxy burn once again, just doing so much damage. That's exactly what you want to see that armor used on right there, just big blobs of Tyranid units. At the very least, it'll drive them back and probably do a little bit of damage to them. Here we can see the Tyrant Guard. You know, he is reasonably countered out there by the by just having the Plague Marines, and once again, this Brood Nest keeps getting wrecked, but he keeps respawning it. It was just north a little while, now it's here on the side. You can see the Plague Marines, unfortunately, are being stuck in close combat by this Tyrant Guard, and are unable to shoot it with their rocket launchers, and there goes the Brood Nest once again. Plague Marines here are going to have to retreat, and the Chaos Lord is just pretty beefy. He's just kind of like, yeah, Breed, yeah, bring it. Come at me, bro. Just kind of standing around, fighting away, knocking back warriors. Being a little bit too overconfident here. I think he really should retreat about this point, given that the Hive Tyrant is coming in on him really quickly there. And yes, there it goes. The Chaos Lord are going to have to retreat now. But so things are looking interesting. Interesting choice getting this Tyrant Guard out, by the way, too. Tyrant Guard isn't quite a vehicle. I think usually it's heavy infantry, but when it huddles up into a ball, it becomes a vehicle, or at least vehicle armor class. You know, nice little heavy melee kind of super heavy infantry thing going on there. Again, it's not quite countered. Having the Plague Marines out there is significant enough. But notice, by the way, that VindicareX just stopped. He just went straight to Tier 3. Meanwhile, we have, it looks like Schranz here is continuing to buy lots and lots of troops. So taking a look around here, we can see that it looks like the Venom Brood, of course, pairing up very nicely with both of these Termagant Broods here. Or is that 2 Termagant Broods? I believe it is. Perhaps it is not. Oh, yeah, it is. We got 2 Termagant Broods there, along with the Venom Brood. The Venom Brood provides the range synapse, which increases the range damage. Does a lot of damage here, but I'm surprised at how well the Plague Marines, combined with the Grenade Barrage from the Chaos Heretics, are doing against that. Chaos Heretics just took a little bit of damage there, lost 2 models, and the Plague Marines took a little bit of a beat down there as well. Not too bad. And now we have a nice little running crew going on here with the Khorne upgraded Chaos Space Marines, combined with the Chaos Lord. And check it out! VindicareX going all the way to Tier 3 and just jumping right into a Predator without even hesitating. So I love that. There's plenty of fun stuff a Predator can do on this battlefield right now, including beat up on this Tyrant Guard a little bit. But in general, that's just an all-around good vehicle. If he needs late-game vehicle, anti-vehicle stuff, he can always go for the twin-link blast cannon. Here we see that wonderful use of the invulnerability again by the Hive Tyrant, putting a lot of pressure on those Chaos Havocs, forcing them out of there. Now we can see, again, here comes that running crew with the Chaos Lord, just going to get in here, really nitty-gritty, doing some nice damage, just kind of calling them on it. Not going to retreat just yet, and man, look at how effective those guys are. They are actually scaring away this Warrior Brood, knocking them down to a single model. But unfortunately, this Tyrant Guard is just doing whatever he wants. He's getting some pretty nice shots off. Not too hard, though, just to run away from the Hive Tyrant and the Tyrant Guard. The Tyrant Guard is guarding the Hive Tyrant. I don't know why that entertains me even slightly. Anyhow, Looking more towards the south, we can see that the Termagant, this is the ranged blob here, kind of moving all in unison, coming in, putting some pressure on these poor little Plague Marines. And now we do have the Chaos Predator on the battlefield. Oh, I love this glorious looking red Chaos Predator here. That battle cannon kind of going crazy right now, taking some shots, keeping their distance. He has to be careful because that Venom Brood is an anti-vehicle squad, could do some damage there. And taking a look more towards the north, we can see that the Chaos Lord is kind of squaring off against the Hive Tyrant, who is trying to capture this point. And the Chaos Lord himself is being beaten up by the Tyrant Guard. And the Tyrant Guard, Hive Tyrant, I don't know, I'm going to screw that up now. But it looks like the Chaos Lord is spending a little bit of time here focusing on that Hive Tyrant. That's kind of a bad idea given that he can go invulnerable at any moment. And now the Chaos Lord really has to get out of there. Oh, one last parting shot from the Tyrant Guard. Takes out the Chaos Lord. That's not good at all. He spent a little bit too much time focus firing down that Hive Tyrant there. We can see getting a few shots off by that Plague Marine there, putting some damage on that Tyrant Guard. But again, the Plague Marines continually locked in melee, really making it hard for them to do a lot of anti-vehicle damage. And now we have the nice call-down ability from the Hive Tyrant as well, calling in yet more warriors on the field. The Hive Tyrant just being focused by all of VindicareX's army here. I really think that's kind of a mistake, putting all that pressure, and finally he takes out the Hive Tyrant, but at what cost? At what cost? Using the blood sacrifice to call in some bloodletters just to kind of muddy things up a little bit. You can see here that the Tyrant Guard is perfectly fine, just kind of regenerating a little bit. And unfortunately, it looks like the Plague Marines are just taking too much damage, going to have to retreat. And the Chaos Predator, oh my god, the Chaos Predator is just at a sliver of hit points here, retreating away as fast as it can. Yeah, I definitely think VindicareX spent a little bit too much time focus firing that Hive Tyrant there. That's honestly exactly what that army wants you to do. Looks like we maybe have an Assassin Squad coming in. Yes, we do. The Venom Brood just making a little called shot there, just sneaking all the way out and taking out the Predator. So that's a humongous loss right there for VindicareX. And now, of course, this ranged blob can do whatever it wants. Just focus firing down this generator station right now. Things are not looking too good for VindicareX. He still has a nice little beatdown squad here in the center, which is going to be able to chase away this Venom Brood. But really just a humongous army right there for Schranz right now. Definitely has two, he's got two Venom Broods. He has either one or two Warrior Broods. I forget exactly if he lost the other one or not, but he definitely called in the second Warrior Brood there. Tyrant Guard still looking good. Got a little bit of worship going on, trying to get these poor Plague Marines out of there, and the Chaos Lord coming in as well. But that's going to be able to get rid of all of these gentlemen here. So meanwhile, looking more towards the center, we just have some ferocious battles going on here. Once again, the Warrior Brood just being chased away by these Chaos Space Marines with the Khorne upgrade. Those guys are proving to be very deadly there, doing quite some good damage. We can see here that the Hormagaunts and the other Warrior Brood, yes, so that is two Warrior Broods indeed there. Kind of hard to keep track of all this stuff when they fill up their tab down there. But you can see, looks like doing a really good job in the center right now. VindicareX is on top of things right now, making sure to get his worship up, slingshotting his troops back out there, going to try and capture the rest of the map. You can see that this Tyrant Guard up here, just kind of hanging out up here. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing. Maybe he's guarding this point. Maybe he's forgotten about. Who knows exactly. Beautiful looking Let the Galaxy Burn. And by the way, check out this Chaos Lord. He has been upgraded to have Lightning Claws. This man is a beast right now. Real tanky hero. He's at level 4 right now. That's looking pretty good. We'll have to see where else that's going to go. You can see that the Chaos Space Marines charge in to try and do some damage to that Tyrant Guard. Taking a lot of damage, however. Looks like finally we're going to start getting some shots lined up from the Plague Marines, but unfortunately it looks like he's closing in on the melee combat once again with them. A little bit of a grenade barrage down here, pretty good. Look at the size of this blob it looks like this Chaos Lord is just barely trying to contain. They're going to completely ignore the Chaos Lord, instead pouncing upon, oh no, all of these Chaos Heretics, eating the Chaos Heretics alive. They all go down. The Plague Marine is going to have to retreat there, being chased off by the Tyrant Guard, and now this poor Chaos Lord, as tough as he is just in the middle of unfriendly territory. It almost looks like this is a team game and these guys are allied. They're just kind of all walking around here together. You can see he's very effective in melee. He's a little slow. It's kind of hard for him to get in there. It's kind of easy for these guys just to retreat away from him and kind of ignore him for the time being. And unfortunately, he's just going to do that, just going to chase away with them. I really think he should just kind of give up on that. He did get a kill right there in the Warrior Brood. That's fantastic, but perhaps now is the time for him to start capping other points around the map. Who knows? Now he is definitely being focused. Crippling Poison. He doesn't care, though. Oh, come at me, bro. He's just going to spit fire all over everybody instead then. That's looking pretty good. Continuing to do damage. Now he's very crippled. He needs to retreat. Yes, I believe he is retreating now, and the replay is simply bugged and not showing me his retreat icon. That gentleman doesn't normally run that fast, but he's just going to get out of there. You can see some nice covering fire here coming from this heavy bolter. The Chaos Havoc squad right there going to be able to suppress all of these guys. And the Plague Marines doing some nice damage to these suppressed Hormagaunts here. Going to have to retreat with all of them, although I don't think these guys up here had to retreat. But nice job kind of holding that off. VindicareX, though, really bad position. I mean, so where we're at right now, Schranz has got more units than can fit in his army tab, and VindicareX has 3 units right now, having lost both of his heretics and a predator down to a single Chaos Space Marine squad, Plague Marine squad, and a Chaos Havoc squad. Not a bad combo, certainly not when there's a level 4 upgraded Chaos Lord out there. Level 3 Hive Tyrant, though, still looking pretty menacing. However, VindicareX does have the tech advantage, so we'll have to see. Let me take a look at some money right now. VindicareX has a ton of money. Oh my god, he's got plenty of money. Unfortunately, he's a little bit behind in power this late in the game because he has had his generator bashed quite a bit. Doesn't matter. He's just going to go ahead and grab a Chaos Predator here. I think Schranz really needs to start working on going to Tier 3 just because it's getting late in the game. He's doing fine with his Tier 2 army, but you might as well just start making that your goal, getting to Tier 3. Taking a look up here, again, the rest of the blob now heading towards the north. It looks like he's just going to go ahead and force that Chaos Space Marine squad to retreat. Again, this Plague Marine squad having a lot of trouble dealing with this Tyrant Guard. Whenever he gets a few shots off, that Tyrant Guard closes in the gap and suddenly is in melee again. So, unfortunately, the Plague Marines have been rendered kind of ineffective. At some point in there, VindicareX canceled his Chaos Predator and then bought it again. And now the map is just covered in Tyranids. Look at the Tyranids. Tyranids to the left of me. Tyranids to the right of me. What does he do? Looks like he's just going to go ahead and use his Destructive Strike ability there. The Chaos Lord just kind of wrecking away at these troops. Again, not a bad idea kind of just avoiding him. He's kind of the elephant in the room right now. Everybody's just kind of like, we don't want to deal with that. We're just going to go elsewhere. Even though there is an entire army here, he's a pretty brutal gentleman. I'm going to turn around my camera here a little bit. Looks like, oh god, letting the galaxy burn once again. Using that Armor of the Inferno pretty effectively, and leveling up to level 5 here. He's just going to continue going for it. He doesn't care. Crippling Poison, whatever. Destructive Strike everywhere. I believe that was him using his Kill the Weak ability as well. Continuing to keep this entire army busy just by himself, and now going to go home and just kind of crash through some scenery on his way home there.